I've always wanted to know, where the fuck do you draw the inspiration from your music? We talked about, as you just mentioned, like the voice inflections and Luda, King Dink, like all da 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 da.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to your feet, eBay's got your back. With eBay's authenticity guarantee, real experts are checking your sneakers. Every stitch down to the sole. A timeless pair of sneakers that will never go out of style. A pair of Chuck Taylors. Classic, timeless, simple, swaggy, dress for every occasion if you know how to wear it. Whatever you added to the lineup next, head to eBay. From the drop to your doorstep, eBay doesn't play games with your sneaker game. Just look for that blue check mark and ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. That's an art, and then it's always going into the pockets of the beat, and then boom.
That's a great question. Man, I grew up on comedy, man. So when people say I'm humorous, I like to have fun in my music, like my parents would just watch Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor and, you know, Red Fox.
Yeah.
And I just grew up watching all of this comedy, and it was just like, that was my life, just laughing and just having fun. Obviously, way before I was supposed to be listening to that type of material, but if you really think about that, intertwined with me working at the radio station when I was here in Atlanta, Georgia, fresh out of high school, youngest person at the station, and I just went up there as an intern because I was trying to get my music played, really, and then it ended up being, I need to make a job for myself because you got all the producers and all the artists coming up here. This will be a way for me to get put on because I'm going to give all of them my music, and one day somebody going to put me on. So Timbaland would come up there, Jermaine Dupri would come up there. He put me on Madden 2000, first rapper on a video game, right? And then, you know, Organized Noise, I would go visit them, and I got music from these individuals, Timbaland. All of that being said, I ended up getting a radio job while I was trying to get put on. So in terms of me practicing my radio voice and my inflection and enunciation, as you say, if you mix that in with me growing up with comedy and just loving rap music, all of that kind of intertwined together, and that's what birthed Ludacris.
So this was back when you called yourself Chris Lover Lover.
Chris Lover Lover. It was still Ludacris, but I went to this morning show and they was like, Ludacris is a little edgy for the morning show for people listening between 6 and 10 in the morning. So do we have an alias or something you could name? And the person that hired me at the time, her name was Felicia Love. So I was like, all right, we'll just do something like Chris Lover Lover. But I still had Ludacris, I just didn't use it for that particular morning show. So people in Atlanta knew me as Chris Lover Lover. And it was a great thing because I was a local celebrity here in Atlanta. And that was kind of the, you know, the intro of going into worldwide superstardom shortly thereafter. It's kind of like I had the test run and the crash. If I can handle it on this level, then I can handle it worldwide, as opposed to just overnight everything going crazy.
So throughout this whole process, I mean, we're living in, I would say, the mecca of music in this pocket, right?
Absolutely.
And Jay-Z has this quote that says, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Well, if your music can thump in Atlanta, like, I don't care if it's R&B, country.
Magic City.
Bro, if they stamped you as, okay, yeah, this is official. Like, that whole process of growth and how you came, helping the next generation kind of artists, knowing what you know,
right?
What would be a way that you would go about it differently in this social media-esque, you know?
Man, it's crazy. That's a great question too, because it's like the times change. However, the foundational elements of getting things done, I don't think they ever change. And what I mean by that is, I did the independent route. So even though I was at that radio station, I saved up enough money to put my own album out, mix and master and pay for it. I want to say it might have took me $20,000 over.
No way.
$20,000 for the whole Incognito album, which later became Back for the First Time. The one that everybody knows with, you know, What's Your Fantasy on there and Throw Them Bows and Use a Hoe and all that. I would say, now we have social media. Now you got all these different accounts. You know, you can put your music out and you can gather your own community. you can gather your own fan base. And the more fan base you gather, the more leverage you have in terms of if you want to do it independently or if you want to entertain other record companies and people coming at you, as opposed to them saying, this is what we're going to give you as a deal, you can say, nah, this is what I want. Because I could just say to hell with y'all and continue doing this on my own.
Right.
And for me, my biggest check when I was around 20 years old at that radio station, I put it out independently and I got $7 an album. We sold like 50,000. So I got a $350,000 check before I turned 21 years old. And it was a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing right here in Atlanta, Georgia.
But so now knowing that whole way, making that type of money, $300,000, which is doctor money. That's some good ass shit.
Yeah.
But you was the first, rapper signed in the Def Jam.
First down south.
So knowing what you know, why would you sign to a label? Like what does the label offer that you couldn't do on independently?
Yeah, so it's more about the worldwide exposure. Wow. You know, the marketing that comes behind it. That's why I say you have to really take the time and decide what it is that you want. Mm-hmm. And so it was a progression for me. I could have stayed, local to a degree. It could have continued doing certain things, but then I love the aspect of being on a world stage and being able to make more money based off the opportunities that came with it. And also, like I told you at first, when they came to me with the deal, we restructured the hell out of it. As opposed to what they was trying to give me, I said, I just got a check for $350 on my own. I don't have to do this. This is how I want my deal to be. So my deal was mounds better than any other artist at that time.
Yeah.
Just because of what I showed and proved that I could do on my own.
For sure.